Once upon a time, in a small town on Earth, lived a girl named Mia. She was an ordinary girl, working at the local bookstore. Mia loved books, especially those about space and aliens. She often dreamed of meeting extraterrestrial beings. One day, her wish took a surprising turn. Mia's best friend, Sam, planned a trip to the galactic market, a fun place in the nearby city which held intergalactic items from various planets. Mia could hardly believe it. This was her chance to find something unique and perhaps even meet an alien. So, she gathered her savings and decided to join Sam. The galactic market was more beautiful than Mia had ever imagined. Bright lights twinkled overhead, and creatures of all shapes and sizes filled the space. She gazed in wonder, her heart racing with excitement. There were shimmering crystals from Crystalline, talking toys from Tinkerton, and unusual foods from Flavoria. As Mia wandered through the market, her eyes fell on a little stall at the far end. A shiny sign read "Souvenirs from the Stars." Curiosity pulled her closer, and she spotted a tiny creature behind the stall. It was no larger than her hand, with big, sparkling eyes and a fuzzy turquoise body. The creature smiled and waved its tiny arms. "Greetings, Earthling. I am Zolo from the planet Lumstria. Would you like to buy a souvenir?" Zolo's voice was high and cheerful. "What do you have?" Mia asked, her eyes wide with wonder. Zolo presented a collection of small, glowing trinkets. One caught Mia's attention. It was a small heart-shaped orb that shimmered with a magical light. "This one is a special charm," Zolo said. "It brings happiness and good fortune." Mia couldn't resist. "I'll take it," she exclaimed, handing over her money. Zolo wrapped the orb in soft, colorful fabric and smiled. "You will cherish it forever," he promised. As Mia walked away, she felt a warm glow in her heart. She didn't know that the charm held a much more powerful secret. That night, she placed it on her bedside table and fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, something strange happened. Mia woke up feeling different. There was a strange energy around her. Confused, she shrugged it off and headed to the bookstore. Yet, as she walked past the mirror, she gasped. Not only had she slept with the charm, but somehow it had also transformed her overnight. Mia no longer just felt ordinary, she radiated a glow that caught everyone's attention. Friends and customers at the bookstore gushed over her, complimenting her new aura. It was a good morning until a peculiar creature appeared at her door later that day. It was Zolo, but not just Zolo. He looked more impressive. There was a shimmer around him, and he wore a tiny crown. "Hello again, dear Earthling," he said with excitement. "What's going on? Why are you here?" Mia asked, both surprised and curious. "The charm you purchased is more than just a souvenir. It is a marriage charm. You are now bonded to me," Zolo announced with a joyous leap. "What? Married?" Mia exclaimed, her heart racing. "But I didn't marry you. The charm binds our destinies," Zolo explained, his eyes sparkling with sincerity. "Don't worry, we can speak to the elders on my planet and find a solution." Mia could hardly believe it. She looked around, hoping this was a dream. But it was real, and now she had a small alien prince at her side claiming they were married. With no other choice, Mia decided to visit Zolo's planet. Using a special portal built in the galactic market, they quickly traveled to Lumstria. As they stepped through the portal, Mia was amazed at the beauty of the new world. The sky was bright orange, and lively plants danced gently in the wind. Zolo led Mia to his home, a sparkling castle made of shimmering crystals. As they entered, colorful creatures welcomed them with cheers. "Zolo has brought a special guest," they exclaimed. "What's this all about?" Mia asked Zolo nervously. "This is where we will ask the elders for advice. They will help us understand how to reverse the bond," Zolo explained. In the grand hall, the elders gathered, their wise faces serious and kind. Zolo explained the situation, and the oldest elder, a tall creature with silvery skin, spoke. The bond cannot be reversed easily, little one, but it is not without hope. You must learn about each other's worlds. Mia thought about it for a moment. Maybe being bonded to Zolo wasn't so bad after all. After spending time with him, she grew fond of his goofy nature and kind heart. As days passed, Mia learned about Lumstria and was amazed by the differences and similarities. Zolo was fascinated by Earth's culture too, and they became close friends. They shared stories, food, and laughter. Mia often felt like a princess in this alien kingdom. One day, as they sat under the purple sky, Zolo asked, "What do you really want, Mia?" "I want to understand more about you and your world," she replied, those words spilling from her heart. Zolo leaned in closer. "And I want to understand you, too. Will you explore Lumstria with me?" Mia smiled. "I'd love that." Their adventures took them through crystal caves, amazing landscapes, and even a carnival of lights. They laughed, shared secrets, and, before they knew it, a genuine bond blossomed between them. After weeks of adventures, they returned to the elders. Mia felt a new connection with Zolo. With a glowing heart, she told the elders, "I want to stay bonded with him. I want to be his partner on this journey." The elders smiled approvingly. When hearts are intertwined by choice, they inspire the magic within. With a flash of light, the original binding became a promise of love and friendship. Mia realized she had accidentally become married to Zolo, but in the end, it wasn't so accidental after all. She had found a true companion among the stars. From that day on, Mia and Zolo traveled together, sharing their worlds, creating adventures for a lifetime. They had started as a charming mistake, but their bond turned into something wonderful, proving that sometimes the best stories begin with an unexpected twist. The blinking lights of the Zorgonian market pulsed, reflecting in Jax's wide eyes. He was on his first solo mission, a simple supply run to Zorgon Prime. His mission briefing had been clear: obtain nutrient paste, report back. Instead, Jax found himself captivated by a small, furry creature with oversized purple eyes and 3 tiny horns. It chirped happily from a stall overflowing with strange trinkets. "It's a Glorbnar," the stall owner, a Zorgon with skin like polished jade, rasped. "A lucky charm. Very popular." Jax, 22 years old and hopelessly romantic, bought the Glorbnar on a whim. He named it Fuzzball. Fuzzball quickly became Jax's best friend, a furry, purring companion who accompanied him everywhere. Fuzzball even seemed to understand Jax's anxieties about failing his mission and navigating the complexities of intergalactic bureaucracy. Back on his ship, the Stardust Drifter, Jax meticulously filled his report, noting the successful acquisition of the nutrient paste. He added a postscript: acquired a Glorbnar. Recommend as a stress reliever for future missions. He didn't know then that this seemingly innocuous postscript would change everything. Weeks later, Jax received a strange communication. It was a formal invitation to a wedding. The invitation was in Zorgon, a language Jax was still learning, but the picture on the front was unmistakable: Fuzzball, looking remarkably dapper in a tiny, embroidered tuxedo. The invitation was addressed to Jax. The date was tomorrow. Panic set in. Jax had no memory of getting engaged, let alone married. He reviewed his mission logs, his communications, his personal diary: nothing. Fuzzball, perched on his shoulder, chirped reassuringly, though Jax found little comfort in the sound. He contacted his superior, Captain Eva Rostova, a seasoned veteran known for her pragmatism and her no-nonsense attitude. Eva listened patiently as Jax recounted his bizarre situation. Then, a faint chuckle escaped her lips. "Jax," she said, her voice laced with amusement, "You've inadvertently become entangled in Zorgonian nuptials. Their customs are unusual, to say the least." Eva explained that the Glorbnar, a creature of immense spiritual significance to the Zorgan, wasn't just a lucky charm. It was a sacred bonding creature. Buying a Glorbnar was akin to a silent vow of lifelong companionship, a binding contract recognized throughout the Zorgonian galaxy. And Jax, in his naive enthusiasm, had just signed himself up for marriage. To Fuzzball. Jax was a guest. But Fuzzball's a Glorbnar, he stammered. "Precisely," Eva replied, "and apparently, a very eligible Glorbnar, according to Zorgonian societal norms. Don't worry, it's not like a human wedding. But it's a legally binding union, and breaking it would cause, well, let's just say it's a serious diplomatic incident you don't want to be involved in." Eva's next words sent shivers down Jax's spine. The Zorgonian Emperor, a massive, intimidating figure known for his strict adherence to tradition, would be officiating the ceremony. Refusal wasn't an option. The wedding was a spectacle of bizarre and opulent rituals. The Zorgonian Emperor, a towering figure with scales that shimmered like amethyst, presided over the ceremony. Jax, clad in a rented, ill-fitting Zorgonian ceremonial outfit, stood beside Fuzzball, who seemed remarkably unconcerned about the gravity of the situation. The ceremony involved chants, strange incantations, and a ceremonial exchange of nutrient paste, a staple of Zorgonian cuisine, according to Eva. Jax, still somewhat bewildered, managed to complete the ceremony without causing an international incident. He even found himself enjoying the celebratory feast afterwards. The Zorgonian delicacy, surprisingly, was delicious. After the wedding, Jax and Fuzzball were inundated with gifts. Tiny Zorgonian spaceships, miniature nutrient paste dispensers, and a variety of other strange, yet charming trinkets. Jax was still reeling from the event, but secretly, he had come to accept Fuzzball's unique position in his life. News of Jax's unique wedding quickly spread through the Galactic Federation. The story became a legendary tale, the human who accidentally married a Glorbnar. Jax, once a humble supply runner, became a celebrity, his image plastered across galactic news channels. His life changed, yet, in a surprising turn, it was for the better. Fuzzball remained his loyal companion. Their marriage became a symbol of interspecies understanding, demonstrating the importance of tolerance and respect even among the most peculiar of circumstances. Jax learned Zorgan fluently, spending time exploring their unique culture. The unexpected marriage opened a whole new world of galactic adventures for him. Years later, Jax, now a seasoned diplomat, often chuckled when he recalled that fateful day in the Zorgonian market. His life had taken an unexpected and hilarious turn, all because of a cute alien Souvenir and a rather unusual wedding. And Fuzzball, the tiny Glorbnar, remained the best unexpected partner, a furry reminder of his most bizarre, yet wonderful, adventure. Once upon a time in the bustling city of New Terra, a young woman named Mia loved to explore new things. She worked as a souvenir seller at the local market, where the stalls were filled with products from all around the galaxy. Mia often dreamed of adventure and meeting strange creatures from other planets. One sunny day, a tall, blue-skinned alien walked into her stall. His name was Zor, and he came from the planet Veltron. Zor had big, round eyes and wore clothes that sparkled like stars. Mia was curious and excited to meet him. They talked about their worlds, cultures, and their dreams. Zor told her that he traveled far and wide to collect souvenirs for his home. "Can I show you something special?" Zor asked with a warm smile. He reached into his bag and pulled out a small, shiny orb. "This is a glimmer orb. It's said to bring good luck to anyone who possesses it. Would you like to keep it?" Mia's heart raced. The glimmer orb was beautiful, glowing with colors that changed like the sky at sunset. "I'd love it," she replied, not knowing what the orb would bring into her life. They spent the day together, exploring the market. Mia showed Zor around, and he taught her some phrases in his language. They laughed and formed a bond that felt stronger than anything Mia had ever experienced before. As the sun set, they exchanged contact information, promising to meet again. Days turned into weeks, and Mia and Zor became inseparable. They met whenever they could, sharing stories and dreams. Their bond grew deeper, but Mia never imagined that Zor came from a different culture with its own customs. One evening, Zor invited Mia to his spaceship. He wanted to show her the stars. Mia agreed, thrilled at the chance to see the galaxy. As they soared through the stars, Zor pointed out constellations and planets, each one more beautiful than the last. Mia felt like she was flying in a dream. Zor suddenly turned serious. Mia, there is a tradition on Veltron. If two people share a glimmer orb and hold a special ceremony, they become married in the eyes of my people. Mia was taken aback. Married? But we're just getting to know each other. Zor smiled gently. I know it seems fast, but it's about connection, not time. I feel that connection with you. Caught off guard, Mia thought about the bond they shared. In the warmth of the moment, she agreed. Okay, let's do it. She declared, thinking it was just a fun experience, not understanding the depth of the tradition. They landed on a dazzling moon covered in sparkling sand, where the stars shone brighter than ever. Zor had prepared a small ceremony with a few fellow Veltronians who floated around playfully. The ceremony involved music, laughter, and a lot of joy. Mia felt comfortable and thrilled as if she was a part of something important. After the ceremony, Zor handed her a small ring made of a rare metal from his planet. With this ring, I pledge my heart to you, Mia, he said. A feeling of happiness washed over her. And I, to you, Zor, she replied. The ceremony ended with cheers and celebrations. Mia thought it was all magical and playful, like a fairy tale. They flew back to New Terra, where Mia walked home with a smile on her face, the ring sparkling on her finger. The next morning, Mia woke up feeling different. She saw her reflection and noticed the ring still on her finger. Confused, she remembered the night before. Was she truly married? She grabbed her phone and called her best friend, Lily. Mia, you sound weird. What's up? Lily asked. I need to tell you something. I might have accidentally gotten married to an alien last night, Mia blurted out. Lily gasped. Wait, what? You can't be serious. We need to talk. Mia went to Lily's apartment, and they sat down with cups of tea. She explained everything about Zor, the glimmer orb, and the wedding ceremony. Lily listened with wide eyes, not quite believing what she heard. Mia, you need to talk to Zor. Are you okay with this? Lily asked, worried but also fascinated. I mean, I like Zor, but this is all so sudden, Mia admitted. Later that day, Zor texted her, excited to see her again. Meet me at the park? I have a surprise for you. Mia felt nervous and excited at the same time. She arrived at the park, where Zor was waiting with a big smile and a gorgeous bouquet of colorful cosmic flowers that seemed to sparkle. These are for you, he said, handing her the flowers. Thank you, Zor. But we need to talk, she started, feeling her heart race. Zor's expression turned serious. You are worried, aren't you? Yes. The thing is, we got married without really knowing each other. I just want to make sure we're on the same page, Mia replied. Zor nodded as he listened attentively. I understand. But marriage on Veltron is about commitment. If you want to explore together, I will support you fully. I care deeply about you, Mia. Feeling relieved, Mia took a deep breath. I want to get to know each other better first. How about we go on more adventures? Zor's smile returned. That sounds perfect. We can learn and grow together. As they spent more time together, Mia learned about Veltron and its wonders. They shared their worlds over star watching, picnics in the park, and going on exciting trips across New Terra. The bond they formed was genuine and filled with laughter. Though Mia never planned to marry an alien, the love they built had a magic of its own. Every day felt like an adventure, and that little ring on her finger turned into a symbol of their connection, not a cage of obligation. And so, Mia and Zor continued their journey, promising to take it one step at a time, exploring not just the galaxy around them but also the love blossoming in their hearts. Sailors on the waves of both worlds, they embraced whatever came their way, knowing they'd face it together. The shimmering purple orb pulsed gently in Jax's hand. He'd bought it from a street vendor on Xylos, a tourist trap planet famous for its bizarre souvenirs. It was cute, he'd thought, a perfect gift for his niece back on Earth. He hadn't noticed the tiny inscription, etched in a language he didn't understand, until he got back to his ship. His ship, the Stardust Drifter, was a small freighter, barely more than a glorified space van. Jax wasn't a big-time space explorer, more of a wandering merchant, picking up odd jobs and selling quirky trinkets across the galaxy. He'd been on Xylos hoping to find some rare space orchids, but the orchids were overpriced and this glowing purple orb caught his eye instead. Back on the Stardust Drifter, Jax was examining the orb when the ship's computer, a grumpy AI named Hallie, short for Hallelujah, a name Jax deeply regretted, started beeping frantically. Warning! Warning! Unexpected energy signature detected. Hallie announced in its monotone voice. The orb pulsed brighter. A wave of warmth washed over Jax, followed by a dizzying sensation. When he opened his eyes, he wasn't in his ship anymore. He was in a lavishly decorated room, with shimmering fabrics and sculptures that seemed to shift and change before his eyes. A woman with skin like polished jade and hair like spun moonlight stood looking at him, a slight frown creasing her delicate features. "You're late," she said, her voice melodious. The ceremony was to start an hour ago. Jax was utterly confused. Ceremony? What ceremony? The woman sighed. Our wedding, of course. You promised. Jax stammered, I don't understand. I'm Jax, from Earth. He trailed off, unsure how to explain his occupation to this clearly high-ranking alien. Jax, my love, she said, extending a hand. Don't you remember our engagement on Xylos? The orb, it was a sacred artifact, a binding vow. Now, let's get this over with. Jax looked down at the purple orb in his hand. It was still pulsing gently, radiating warmth. Panic swelled inside him. He had accidentally gotten married to an alien princess, it seemed. The ceremony was a blur of strange rituals and even stranger customs. He was dressed in a shimmering robe that felt oddly comfortable, despite the fact that he had absolutely no idea how it got there. The princess, whose name he learned was Lyra, was stunning, and despite his utter bewilderment, he found himself inexplicably charmed. After the ceremony, amidst the celebratory chaos, he found an opportunity to talk to Lyra privately. He explained, as best he could, his confusion and his complete lack of memory of any engagement. Lyra listened patiently, her jade eyes reflecting the light. The orb, she explained softly, is a Xyloshian artifact. It doesn't just bind two people, it creates a bond of shared experiences, memories, emotions. It seems the vendor may have been a little dishonest. He used a slightly flawed orb, one that binds people regardless of their intent. He made a lot of money selling these flawed artifacts. Jax felt a surge of anger. He'd been tricked. Lyra smiled gently. But, she continued, the bond is real. The emotions, the connection, it's genuine. even if the circumstances were unusual. Over the next few days, Jax got to know Lyra. He learned about her people, the Xylonians, a technologically advanced civilization known for their artistic brilliance and peaceful nature. He learned about her life, her ambitions, her dreams. He discovered a connection with her that he hadn't anticipated, a deep understanding that transcended the bizarre circumstances of their marriage. He also met her family, a collection of eccentric and endearing Xylonians who welcomed him with open arms. Her father, the king of Xylos, a jovial fellow with a booming laugh, kept offering him odd jobs in the royal gardens. He discovered a shared love for gardening, something he hadn't known he possessed. He found himself enjoying their company, learning their customs, and feeling a strange sense of belonging. Meanwhile, Halley, back on the Stardust Drifter, was still beeping erratically. Jax decided to leave the ship and the increasingly agitated Halley behind. He'd rather live happily on Xylos, with his new family and newfound skills in Xylonian horticulture. Weeks turned into months. Jax, initially terrified at the prospect of being married to an alien princess, found himself utterly in love. Lyra was intelligent, kind, and incredibly beautiful. He adjusted to Xylonian life surprisingly well, and even grew fond of the strange customs and the even stranger family dinners. The orb, now a cherished possession, sat on their mantelpiece, a constant reminder of the day a cute souvenir turned his life upside down. But it was a life he wouldn't trade for anything, a testament to the fact that sometimes, the most unexpected events lead to the greatest happiness. And even Halley's constant beeping couldn't quite dampen his joy. He sent Halley a virtual postcard depicting his new life and the beautiful Xylosian sunsets. He even attached a picture of him wearing a ridiculous, but strangely comfortable, Xylonian gardening outfit. The postcard ended with a simple message: "Married life is surprisingly good, even for an Earthling."